Judith Wood is a human rights lawyer specializing in immigration and representing people who've been left out of their home countries for one reason or another. Her practice is dedicated to protecting and enhancing the rights of women and children who face almost insurmountable difficulties. Let's meet Judith Wood. Hello, Judith. And
Hello.
Thanks very much for coming in.
Thank you.
Please sit down. So, Judith, tell us more about what you do.
I represent immigrants and refugees from all over the world, and primarily women and children who are being punished for one reason or another in their home country. And then, when they come to the United States, they often don't receive the treatment that they really deserve.
Why do you do this?
I do it because it's a calling. I feel called, actually. One of my first heroes when I was a very, very young child was Joan of Arc. You may remember Joan of Arc. She got very, very badly punished because she had her own thoughts and didn't go along with the mainstream of society. And so she got burned at the stake. Actually, there are many women in this world who have thoughts, and they get punished for thinking. And this is my main cause in life, to defend women who think and who get punished for just thinking.
Now, was that a passion really of yours from when you were a little girl, that you knew that you wanted to be a lawyer then to help further the cause and make that a better situation?
I decided to become a lawyer later in life. I've actually been an actress, a writer, a dancer, a teacher, a poet. I became a lawyer later in life, but it's always been my goal. Even as an actress, I played Liz Estrada and Mother Courage, to present women who think and to present to the world the problems that a woman who thinks faces.
Judith, the suppression of women, is this exclusively in other countries, or is it right here in the United States too?
Well, it exists in the United States, and I can tell you about a case that I've handled where the woman suffered both in her home country, Afghanistan, and continued to suffer here. She was a teacher in Afghanistan when she was a young woman, and she was not a big political leader. She was merely a teacher, but she had a voice. And in Afghanistan, if you're a woman and you have a voice, you may be vulnerable to attack. And this was before the Taliban took over in Afghanistan. However, she was brutally treated. She was imprisoned, and she was raped, and all kinds of terrible things happened to her, simply because she taught school.
And so then she comes here.
And she was put in detention here for many, many months. And she was put into an orange jumpsuit and forced to take psychotropic drugs when there was nothing wrong with her mentally.
But because she was a woman? How did
the immigration judge, also a woman who heard the case, dismissed the case and said, "This is just women's lib, it's not asylum." And basically the judge didn't believe her. That's the worst thing, when someone has suffered all this terrible tragedy in their home country and then they come here hoping that someone will at least believe them. But the judge said, well, it's improbable that what you're saying actually happened. I got the case when it went to the Ninth Circuit, and I argued the case in the U.S. Court of Appeals, and I argued it to Dorothy Nelson, a wonderful Ninth Circuit judge, and she agreed that this woman had suffered unbelievable hardship and unbelievable persecution. The case was remanded, and she was granted political asylum in the United States, which basically started a whole wave of cases for women who think. Because usually women who apply for asylum in the United States have to do so on one of the 5 grounds: race, religion, political opinion, social group. And the problem is that many of these women are simply punished because of their thoughts, because they have the audacity to think. And that's hard to put into an actual one of these 5 grounds upon which refugee status is granted. And so I've been working on that for the last 30 years and have made some progress. Often women are granted asylum on account of the one-child policy, if they've suffered a forced abortion, although that was a struggle too, or if they happen to have been raped in their country. But still, being raped is not enough. It has to be raped because of your political opinion, your social group, your religion.
Now, I know you're in a position of power as an attorney, but what can ordinary people do? What can the general public do to help?
The main thing is to be believed. When one of these women tells you a story, it's to be believed. It's not that they've made it up. Usually women are very ashamed of having been raped, tortured, abused, and they don't come out with that story lightly. And if they do tell you, if you happen to be in a position where you're listening to this story, give the story credence, believe them. That's the main need of these people, is to be believed.
Well, this is, again, this is Judith Wood. I thank you very much. You're doing wonderful work. It's the Law Office of Judith Wood. Your contact information is on the screen, and I really encourage anyone to use your services that think they might benefit, and for everybody, me and everybody else, to listen to what you're saying. You really have some thought-provoking points. Thank you very much, Judith.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.